Yo, welcome back to the channel. Finally! The Tom Bombadil reaction everybody has been asking for. I don't know why it took so long. I just get distracted by other cool videos. It's finally here. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know anything about him. We're going in fresh. Everything I'm about to see is everything I'm about to learn about him. Let's enjoy it. First, let's go check out Men of the West. Please go subscribe to them. Amazing content. And subscribe to my channel. And make sure you turn the notification bells on so you know when a video goes out. Thanks for being here, and let's do this. Tom Bombadil. Epic. Character. History.
Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Bright blue his jacket is.
Flying sausages? Wait, is this guy a mage? Oh, wait. I should probably edit that out. You know what? Never mind.
And his boots are yellow. Hey everyone, Yoyston here with a different sort of epic character history for you all today. Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments to do a Tom Bombadil video, and I thought that I should put all the facts and possible explanations for this character into one video.
Okay.
We'll start with his known history and go into what he could be the result of. Let's get into it.
I bet he's evil.
Tom Bombadil, or also known as Ben-Adar by the elves, or Forn by the dwarves, or Orald by the middlemen, is a figure of unknown origin in Tolkien's Legendarium. He lives with his wife, Goldberry, the River Daughter, in the Old Forest, on the outskirts of Buckland, on the west side, and...
That's a what's it called map? Lord of the Rings Online map. Which I play every Monday, 5 PM UK time, on twitch.tv/OmarioRpg. Follow the socials.
The Barrow Downs on the east side. He has a blue jacket, yellow boots, and he wears a hat, with a feather placed into it. Usually the feather was a swan feather, but he also acquired the feather of a kingfisher too. His wrinkles on his happy face tell of much time passing in his life, and his height was less than that of a man or elf, but more than that of a dwarf or a hobbit, at about 5 feet tall. It seems that Tom lived here since before Melkor went east towards Middle-earth in the First Age. However, Tom is oldest and fatherless, so it is believed that he lived alone in the Old Forest, possibly before the First Age or the times of the Sun, and in his land.
Wait, so that would make him... Galadriel's that Melkor First Age, Silmarillion, Second Age, Third Age. Divide the two, carry the one. The three. He's bloody old, mate.
And he lived a peaceful life, watching over the birds and nature of the Old Forest. He was there when the forests of Middle-earth began to decrease, and it seems that he met Goldberry sometime after the elves came east from Beleriand, as there are some elvish qualities about the River Daughter, but it is entirely possible that they met sometime earlier. Again, it's really unrecorded. As for Goldberry, she was also immortal, and Tom said that he found her long ago by the pool where he gathered water lilies from the Withawindle River, near to his house. Goldberry had long yellow hair, and her voice was a very beautiful kind of soprano, I would imagine. Her height was average. She was probably taller than Tom.
Did you really have to go there?
It seems that she was also immortal, as she stayed alongside Tom Bombadil. Now, in the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien that I'll get to in a little bit later as well.
Let it be known that height doesn't matter. It's all about the confidence and your kindness, making someone laugh. If you're a short bloke out there, there's a tall, beautiful woman waiting for you somewhere. Trust me. And take the... Hey, I'm not short, by the way. I'm 6'4", but I've seen some short lads or some, you know. So, I mean, some women are into that, right? How did we get here? Let's just move on.
Well, Tolkien describes Goldberry as the seasonal change, and Tom Bombadil as the English countryside. So you can kind of see how the two have an effect on each other. So Goldberry is the change of the forest and the nature and the seasons around Tom, and Tom is the constant. He stays the idea of nature and simplicity among growth. Tom
Okay.
kept an eye on Old Man Willow, a tree that lures nearby creatures into sleep with his songs, and Tom became a friend of those who discovered him, at least for those of the Free Peoples that discovered him. It doesn't seem like Sauron, Melkor, or any of their forces found Tom, or even knew about his existence.
Yes.
Which might have been because of Tom protecting the Old Forest and his whereabouts. He watched the rise and fall of the nearby kingdom of Cardolan in the Third Age, and his powers might actually be the reason that they held so long against the Witch King of Angmar in wartime with him. We also know that far later in the Third Age, Tom and his wife Goldberry house Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin after their encounter with Old Man Willow.
What?
During their stay, Tom displays his power over the One Ring by putting it on one of his fingers to no effect, and making it disappear and reappear at will.
What?
Tom comes to the Hobbit's rescue in the Barrow Downs, and he finds a brooch to give to Goldberry.
I feel like that... the movies are perfect, but still, like... Huh? So he just puts on the ring? Now, when he put on the ring, did that not attract the... them guys? Or not?
Likely from a woman of Cardolan that he might have actually known once, as he says, quote, "Here is a pretty toy for Tom, and for his lady."
I mean, nowadays, that's something completely different, Tom, mate.
"Fair was she who long ago wore this on her shoulder. Goldberry shall wear it now, and we will not forget her." End quote. This brooch signifies just how old and mystical Tom actually is, and how he might have known the people who made the brooch, as well as the other items alongside the hobbits within the Barrows. Tom Bombadil is mentioned in the Council of Elrond as a potential keeper of the One Ring by Elrond, who met him long before, after Frodo reminded him
Bro, so he must be extremely powerful.
of Tom's existence during the recounting of his tale before arriving to Rivendell. But Gandalf counters, saying that Tom would likely lose the ring, as he has no care for it or its powers on others because it has no power on him. To him, it's just another trinket. And the last we hear of Tom is actually
makes
after
sense.
the War of the Ring, when Gandalf spends time with the Moss Gatherer, as he's called, and finds that he wouldn't care to hear about the Lord of the Rings or the Return of the King from the Hobbits, but he would actually likely only be interested in hearing about the Ents and Treebeard, as well as Fangorn Forest itself. Thus, afterwards, nothing is heard about Tom or his Goldberry. In the book entitled The Adventures of Tom Bombadil, nothing can really more be learned about Tom, as it is a collection of poems on nature in Middle-earth, as well as a few other topics throughout
I love that
Tolkien's
he's like the David Attenborough of Middle-earth. That's so cool.
Darium. Tom seems to be an embodiment of a natural power of the earth.
If you don't know who David Attenborough is, trust me, and love nature and animals, you've got a lot of research to do. David Attenborough. 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 David Attenborough. He's done amazing documentaries all over the world. He's basically the Tom Bombadil of this generation.
Earth, and he is the literary counterpart of the Ent Treebeard in many different ways. They are both called the eldest being in Middle-earth, and they're both masters and guardians of two separate forests. And both Treebeard and Tom want to remain neutral in wars and politics, and take only the side of nature and the forest.
What do I feel if I had a beard and was wearing a hat right now? I'd look like Tom Bombadil. Probably some people in chat saying you look like Treebeard, mate. That's rude. That's not nice.
Neutral in wars and politics, and take only the side of nature and the forest, but both are dragged into participating in the War of the Ring by necessity for life and preservation, or by charity to save other beings that they come to care for. Now, let's get into some theories and possible explanations of who Tom might actually be.
Sauron.
It is widely speculated
Morgoth.
that Tom could be a Maya, or even a Vala, as he is called the Master and the Eldest. I know what you all might be thinking. Well, he can't be a Vala, as they're all accounted for. And which Maya would he be, as most of them are accounted for and have names and different histories and lores? But to that I say that the theory is definitely a possibility, as in literature, the personification of a certain idea or aspect is a very common motif, and it is possible that Tom is actually a personification of Vala, or even Iluvatar himself on Middle-earth.
Oh.
Because Iluvatar doesn't really take a form in Valinor or anything like that, he just kind of is, as an almighty god would be. But it could be that alongside of being, he also exists as Tom Bombadil, just to kind of be within his creation. And it's possible that just one of the Ainur, or...
He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna make the hottest, beautiful, tallest, most elf woman for me. Goldberry!
or a god or Val be within his creation. And it's possible that just one of the Ainur, or a god or Vala, could want to put themselves on Middle-earth directly, against maybe the will of others, but they would want to see with the human form the nature of their creations, as long as they remain mostly neutral and secluded from...
It could be like the guy who made the dwarfs. Maybe one of them made like just made Tom Bombadil, you know, and just... I'm just, you know, theorizing. It probably isn't. Somebody in the comments is probably going to be like, no, mate, it can't be like that, because this, you know, this doesn't equal that and that. But, you know, I'm just thinking what I'm thinking. Thinking out loud, you know what I mean? But yeah, it could have been like the guy who made the dwarfs or something like that. Someone just messing around and just made Tom Bombadil, you know? What the hell just happened? Okay, but yeah, it could be something like that. Who knows? Who knows? That's my theory. My theory is he's a mermaid.
And peoples. It's definitely a possibility. Another theory, and one that I really like, is that Tom is a personification of the Song of the Ainur, or the Song of Creation that manifested the world through the voices of the Ainur. I really like this theory, and it would explain his love for music and songs and singing, but again, how could it be that he's not accounted for among the Ainur? But it is definitely possible that, just like with a conductor, not knowing about an overtone or a discord until he hears it, and likes it, it is possible that Tom was just kind of an unexplained and unanticipated byproduct of the Song of the Ainur, something that maybe even Iluvatar himself didn't plan. There are many more theories out there and arguments for and against each theory, but truly we will never know, as Tolkien purposefully left him as an enigma of his fantasy. As he says, quote, "And even in a mythical age there must be some enigmas, as there always are. Tom Bombadil is one, intentionally." End quote. This is stated in one of the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, number 144, dated at 1950.
I love that J.R.R. Tolkien put. So I don't know if you guys know what Easter eggs are. A lot of you are probably gamers and know what I mean. I love that he put like Easter eggs in his books. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just going to put this guy here and, you know, enjoy theorizing about him for years and years and years. Do you know what I mean? It's like these two are just like Easter eggs in his books. That's so cool. That's so cool. And it worked, man. It worked.
54.
But he's a mermaid.
I want to end the theory section of the video on a head scratcher for you guys. Is it possible? Now, this is just speculation on my...
Is it possible? Is he going to say it? Is he going to say it?
My part, and there might be direct contradictions to this possible theory, but this is something that I was thinking about on my own as I was making this video. Is it possible that the Fea, or spirit of Tom Bombadil, is the same Fea, or spirit, as Treebeard, thus making him the same being as Treebeard or Fangorn? It's interesting, and it would make actually a lot of literary sense for...
That's a cool theory. That's a cool theory. It's probably not right, but I really like that theory. Do we know if Ents have that power? I mean, there's probably so much power we don't know about Ents, right?
For the two characters to act... It's interesting, and it would make actually a lot of literary sense for the two characters to actually be one, because they have a lot of similarities, they're both connected very well, they're definitely literary parallels for each other. They both protect forests, they have encounters with hobbits, among other free peoples. They both have good relationships with Gandalf. I don't know, it's just something to think about. Now, I know that there are differences between the two characters as well, and it's just speculation on my part.
There are differences between the two characters. He says it so subtly. Yeah, one of them's a tree. You know, there's really... that's a good theory, though. I like that. I like to think that one's true, other than the fact that he's a mermaid. Because think about it, you never get to see his feet. Think about this. Have you ever seen Tom Bombadil's feet? No.
Differences between the two characters as well, and it's just speculation on my part, as we'll truly never know. I do like that they are two different characters, and indeed, Treebeard considers himself to be a free person on the old list, and Tom doesn't consider himself to be. So there are definitely arguments against and for this theory. So it's just an interesting thought to keep in mind the next time you read about those two characters. And the next time you do, look for similarities between the two. It's pretty interesting, actually. My literature teacher taught me to look out for these connections, and I hope you all do as well. It makes reading anything all the more interesting. Let me know what you all think about these theories in the comments below. What do you think could be true for Tom, and what do you think is completely false? Let me know. Ultimately, Tom Bombadil serves to personify the power of the passive guardian of nature. If we all serve the world around us and come to love nature as Tolkien did, we'll find that the ideas of lust and power and greed to control and dominate others just aren't that appealing at all.
Beautiful.
Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope this video was...
That was really good. That was really good. Definitely go check out the Men of the West, man. Please go subscribe to them. You can just hear the passion in their videos. I'm genuinely being serious. If you don't know who David Attenborough is, I'm sure most of you know. There you go. This is David Attenborough. He just does legendary... He's literally the Tom Bombadil of nowadays. And he has a beautiful voice, just like Morgan Freeman. So yeah, go check out David Attenborough. He's basically Tom Bombadil, except he's not a mermaid. I didn't see this until now, but in one of the poems of the adventures, there is Hobbit folklore about badger-like creatures that captured Tom until one of his chants freed him from their grasp. Now, it may have just been a myth among hobbits within the legendarium, and not actually something that happened to Tom in the lore, but it is interesting all the same. Just wanted to share it with you all, and I wanted to thank Happy Wheeler for bringing it to my attention. Tom equals Tolkien having written himself into the story as a natural observer, but enjoying the beauty in Middle-earth. Think about it. Love for song, not interested in the ring, but having power over it. All the wars because he knows how it'll play out. On top of that, he has a lovely elk-like wife, an abundance of poems and pipeweed, love for nature. That, and he was not specifically named during the creation song, yet was there since the beginning, and has knowledge of obscure minor characters, such as the brooch-wearing fair maiden of ages long past. Definitely the Lord of the Rings equivalent of a Stan Lee cameo. That's really cool. That's really cool. What a great, great take. Peter Jackson himself could have played Tom. Tom is obviously Chuck Norris. My personal theory on Tom, I believe Tom is from outside the song. While the Ainur sang, and it were their talents that formed the aspects of the world, they did not create the world itself. Only Ilúvatar had the power to create from nothingness. Melkor reshaped things to suit his ends, as did Sauron and Saruman. Even Aule couldn't breathe life into the dwarves. Ilúvatar did that. Oh yeah, my theory is off then. So it had to be Ilúvatar. Ilúvatar shaped the aspects of the song into the earth. My theory is that once the song was complete, Ilúvatar brought the world to life, gave it a soul, if you will, and Tom is the soul of Middle-earth. That's why he's explained... That explains why Tom is referred to as the first or the eldest. This also explains why the ring does not affect him. He was created outside the power of the song. Tom equals Bob Ross of Middle-earth. How has no one mentioned David Attenborough? Is he like not a big thing in America? I thought the whole world knew who David Attenborough was. Come on, man. Anyway, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please, 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 like 70% of you guys aren't subscribed to my channel. All you got to do is hit that beautiful red button. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to see next. It's been your boy OmarioRpg. Thanks for being you. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome to the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for being here. You don't understand how much I appreciate your time. Thank you for subscribing, whatever you've done to support the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to support the channel further, there's a tip link in the description down below. Never feel like you have to, only if you want to. Comment down below what you want to see next on the channel, and thank you so much for being here. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.